What up, everybody? Welcome to Todcast Sports Podcast. Your boy Simbawi Nibaye Jr., Omar Williams, and Denise Obi. It's about that time again for us to talk sports from the fans' perspective. Again, you can catch the Todcast Sports Podcast every 2 weeks on a Monday or Tuesday, 9 p.m. And we're going to get it started right and early because we got a lot to talk about, a lot of things to go over. So before I do that, how was y'all's weekend? I know we had a weekend coming up. We got Christmas coming up soon too. But how was y'all's weekend?
Got it,
Pretty busy. Getting ready for the holiday season. Getting ready to go see my parents, but I think it's holiday party after holiday party. So I think I'm over sugar. I'm over sugar cookies right now and all that good stuff. But I can't complain. I'm grateful. With everything that's been happening in Australia and at Brown University, I'm just grateful that I made it to the end of the year. So I'm not gonna complain too much.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, how about you?
Yeah, my weekend was good. It was really busy. I tried to get my lights up, but it snowed on me, and it's been freezing outside. So I have like half my decorations up, and then the other half sitting in the house. But other than that, we had a swim meet this weekend. So I was at sophomore college for pretty much the weekend, and then Omar had soccer. So between that and me trying to put the lights up, I don't know when I'm gonna do it because I'm not doing it at 15 degrees. So I'm sorry. My tree is up,
man.
so we're good.
I hear you. I actually put my lights up. Well, our lights up. I put them up. Normally, it's the beginning of December, like after Thanksgiving weekend. I put lights up outside, inside. Now, most time, my wife and children they'll do the inside of the house. I do the outside. My son will help me out now that he's older. Then he can help me out outside now a little more. He'll be 16 in March, so it's kind of like, yeah, you can come out. You can help me now. He helped me that last year too. So year before, I think he did too, but I can't remember. But have us help outside. Then my daughter helps my wife on the inside, and my son he'll help out if he needs to. Most times, we got timers all over the place. So we got a couple of timers and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm tired of trying to turn the lights on automatically at a certain time. So I got timers a few years ago, but now I got timers all over the place. I'm like, look, man, 5 o'clock, everything comes on. 12 midnight, everything go off. We done. I mean, so. But good weekend. I'm pretty sure y'all had a good weekend because the Eagles had a great win over this past weekend. The Eagles played against the Raiders this weekend, and no one's surprised. I mean, the Raiders just aren't that good, and the Eagles showed just exactly how bad they really are. I think it was 34-0, if I'm not correct. 34-0 shutout of the Raiders. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but it was the Raiders. So, not sure if we learned anything, but it was the Raiders. Go ahead, Denise.
Listen, we said that because we said that against the Giants and the Cowboys, and what happened? Okay, so after those two losses, I said, I'm gonna still talk my smack. I don't care. That's what you got to do. But I'm gonna respectfully do it because we went into both of those games expecting to get the dub, but we clearly showed that Dak Prescott and I forgot Jaden Daniels wasn't playing. I don't think that game, but their quarterback at the time, they kind of walked all over us.
Mariota.
Mariota. They kind of walked all over us. So, fly Eagles, fly. So we go to the Super Bowl, I guess.
Right now they are flying. They're flying pretty high right now. So I know that the schedule. I believe they got the Commanders twice. Who else do they have?
And then I think they have
Giants again. We played the
Giants one more time. Yeah.
Okay, so they got all divisional games left. Okay, so I mean, right now without Jaden Daniels, the Commanders those are winnable games. Even with him there, they're winnable. But with him out, they're definitely winnable games. The Giants, I mean, that could be a toss-up because I don't know. Last time they played the Giants did them kind of dirty, but Mariota was playing then. So they got Jackson Dorothy's back. But we'll see what happens. Either way, Dallas lost, so that still clears the path for them to get the division. And right now, Dallas has about 1% chance to get to the playoffs now, so their playoff hopes are pretty much shot unless by some miracle something happens and they get in. So the Eagles are pretty much flying right into the playoffs. The question is, what Eagles team is going to show up in the playoffs? That's my question. So we're not sure about that yet. I guess only time will tell when we find out who they actually play, how things are going to go. So
I say this, man. Sometimes, like, you're a basketball guy. Sometimes you got to see the ball go in. We saw the ball go in. Now we're gonna drop 30.
I'll be at the game this weekend against the Commanders, so I'm praying.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah. My best friend, she's a Commanders fan, so I'm like, listen, all bets are off during this game. So they can't show out. They gotta show out. It's in Maryland, Landover, where they're.
Oh, so you going down? That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I will say this: at least they got some swag back with that game. It's kind of like they made it look easy, but also it's like they probably needed that to get themselves on the up and up a little bit. So let's see what happens. Let's see how they end the season and see how the playoffs go. So, fly Eagles fly. I can't say the same thing about my Bengals because right now we are burrowing out of control. I have no idea what happened on Sunday. But no, let me not say that. I do have an idea what happened. I just don't like the fact that you beat Baltimore badly the first time you played them 2 weeks ago. And then you play them this week. And 3 weeks ago. And now you're playing this week and they shut you out 24-0. And you look like you just didn't know what was going on. And I'll let you guys jump in a minute, but here is my synopsis of what happened. After the Bengals lost to Buffalo, which they played a great game, except for those 2 interceptions that Burrow threw, which one was just a haphazard off the helmet, off the hand or whatever, guy catches it. The other one wasn't a very smart play by Burrow. It looks like the ball slips out of his hand. He's trying to chuck it to Chase, the quick out, and the guy just read it perfectly, catches it, and runs it back for a touchdown, right? And so it looks like after the Buffalo game, the Bengals were kind of like, well, our playoff hopes are kind of done. What's the point? That's what it seemed like to me. Because to lose 24-0 at home against the Ravens, that was a bit of a shocker to me. And if you look at the body language of the players, they did not have the oomph they had against Baltimore 3 weeks ago and then against Buffalo when they played them, right? And it's kind of like, really?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just seems as though they just kind of pretty much said, we're done. It's time. We'll wait for next season. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
I think you got Denise. Got it.
No. Go ahead. I can go last.
Okay.
I didn't really get to watch.
I was saying,
I can go last.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game either. But 24. I follow the Ravens because I play fantasy football and I follow Henry, so I gotta follow Henry. That was a statement. You know they have statement wins.
Mm-hmm.
That was a statement loss. That loss said we are done for the season. We're gonna pack it up. Let's get rested and start this thing in 2027 or 2026. I guess. Yeah. So that was a statement loss. You don't get blown out like that at home. And it's a rival, right? I mean, the Ravens, are they you guys' rival, or it's like it's a division game, right?
It's a division game. Our rivals are the Steelers. Game. So
right,
yeah.
but it's a division game.
It's a division game, though. Yeah.
Right. You don't let them come home in your territory and then just take over like that. So yeah. I think the Bengals have said enough. I think they said 2025 is over. I'll see you next year.
So I have more of like 2 questions. First question is, what do you think happened like for everything to just fall apart? Because you guys were doing good at the beginning of the season, and now it's like, besides Burrow getting hurt.
Overall, it's time for a coaching change.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. So this is Burrow's 6th year in the league. He came out of LSU. He didn't play the entire first season. So his first 4 seasons, the 2 seasons that he didn't play full seasons, the Bengals did not make the playoffs.
Right.
The 2 that he played full seasons, they made 2 AFC championships, knocked off Kansas City, and went to the Super Bowl. Right? After that, Burrow gets hurt last season and this season. Now, this season, he started off the year healthy. We were 2-0. 2-0. Notice the Bengals over the past 6 seasons, 7 seasons, or whatever, don't win in September. It's always like we start in the hole, 0-2, 0-3, 1-4. This year we started out 2-0. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Here we come, making a statement. Burrow gets hurt. All of a sudden, we have no idea how to play football. It's like we won one game without Burrow. While he was out, we won one game. He comes back, and we blow the Ravens out. Now, the Buffalo game, again, we had the game in hand. Those 2 interceptions, it just kind of put us back a little bit, but we had Buffalo. You watch the game, Buffalo did not lead until the fourth quarter. We had them the entire game. So that's just kind of one of those things that happen, right? Now we go out against the Ravens and we just stink it up, right? And I think, honestly, it's time for a coaching change because when you have a organization as such as the Bengals, and there are a number of issues there, but to answer your question, I don't think Zach Taylor has control of that, not control, but has that locker room's ear anymore. Outside of Joe Burrow, I think the ear that for Zach Taylor's, voice is now gone. So I think coaching change needs to happen, number one. So
okay. And then I was gonna say, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
No quarterback change.
That was my next question. What do you think? It's time for
no quarterback change.
A lot of grief.
Because my thing is this. Now, the only way I would say a quarterback change is if Burrow gets hurt again next season and it becomes another wash.
It's done. Right.
Because now it's like it's very clear without him, you're not that good at the quarterback position. Jake Browning, as good as he was the previous seasons when Burrow got hurt, Jake Brown has already hit his ceiling. He's not getting any better. So now teams can plan for him. Joe Flacco, on the other hand, knows the game. He's a veteran. So you can throw Joe Flacco into any NFL team as a backup. He's going to do somewhat well or thrive because he knows how to read the game from an offensive point. He can read defense. He can tell what teams are getting ready to do. So just throw him in there. He can do well. Now, Cleveland's a different story. Cleveland's where quarterbacks go to die. So it didn't matter in Cleveland what he did. Throw him anywhere else, he's going to do well. So if again, Flacco is 40 years old. I mean, you don't necessarily want to have a 40-year-old backup quarterback. But as of right now, Flacco is doing well as a backup for the Bengals. He's still getting paid, but you still need another third-string quarterback. If you're not going to keep Jake Browning, then bring in somebody else, whatever you're going to do. A quarterback change only needs to happen in Cincinnati if Burrow gets hurt again and misses significant time, and it's just a waste of a season again. The last thing I will say is this. Mr. Brown, you're the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals. It is time for you to sell. It is time for you to sell.
Wow.
What I have learned today is that the Bengals, number one, have the lowest staff of all NFL teams. They have the lowest salary of all NFL teams. And outside of the Super Bowl run and the playoff run they had before year 5 of Burrow's year, the Bengals have gone backwards since then. And if you look at Carson Palmer when he was there, almost 15 years ago or so, 20 years ago, Carson Palmer, number one, he wore the same number Burrow is wearing now, number 9. Number 2, Carson Palmer at one point said, I would rather retire than play another year in Cincinnati. That's what he wanted to do. Now we're in the Burrow era. And Burrow made some comments last week about the fact that if it's not fun for him, what's the point of him continuing to play? Now, he didn't make any references to the organization, to the Bengals, to his teammates, and nothing like that. Now, I'm going to leave it here. We got more topics to talk about. But what I will say is this. What he said today was, in his conference yesterday after the game, someone asked him, hey, what do you think about how people took your comments about, you having fun and all that stuff? And he talked about how how he's playing with the Bengals. And he said, well, notice I didn't say anything about Cincinnati. I was just talking about me and myself and how I feel about me playing the game. He's like, I love my teammates. I love the game. But I said nothing about Cincinnati. He said, it's all about me. And I said, oh. So he said, I said nothing about Cincinnati. Are you talking about the city or are you talking about the organization? Because he kind of answered the question professionally, and I'm kind of like, but who are you talking about specifically?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. So we'll see how things go. I mean, I think right now, I think he'll end the season playing well. Today, like you said, today might have been a statement. I mean, I'm sorry, yesterday might have been a statement saying we're done, not just with this season, but we're done with this ownership. And we're done with how things are being done here. And it's possible they might have said, we're also done with Zach Taylor. So, number of things. We can move on. Come back to that another day. That's a lot to unpack there. It's, again, burrowing out of control. Out of control. All right, let's go to NFL news. I know we got some things to talk about in the NFL. Some things happened yesterday, some good things, and then there were some terrible things that happened yesterday. Let's start with the good stuff first. Or we want to do bad news first or good news? What do you want to do?
News.
All right, we'll do bad news.
Bad news first, tie it up with the good news.
Bad news first for the NFL. Number one, Patrick Mahomes got hurt. And it appears to be he had an ACL tear, and he is done for the rest of the season. And likely is done for at least half of next season. Because now they haven't confirmed, but they have said he's got to go have an MRI. If you saw Patrick Mahomes' tweet, he pretty much said, I'm not sure why this happened, but I'm going to trust in God that all things are going to work out, and we'll see how things go. And in my head, they're going to have an MRI. We get it. But that tells me something bad has happened, that he's going to be out for some time. For the rest of this season and possibly part of or half of next season. We'll see. But I actually was watching the game and I saw when he got hurt. And pretty much people already knew that his left knee wasn't 100%. But when he landed, it didn't go the right way. And so it's like, whoa, this is not looking good. Then you had Micah Parsons, who also got hurt yesterday. A knee injury that looks to be similar, ACL injury like Patrick Mahomes. He was going to make a cut. He was literally, if you watch the play, he was going to sack the quarterback. And he went to change directions, and his knee kind of buckled, and he goes down, and he immediately grabs it, and it's kind of like, yeah, this ain't good. This is not good. Now, while he walked off the field, just like Patrick did, it looks like he has an ACL injury as well. Now, again, nothing confirmed yet, but that's what it looks like. Then Devontae Adams went down as well yesterday. Hamstring injury, running a route, non-contact injury, same as Micah Parsons, not non-contact. And so now it looks like Devontae Adams could miss time with the Rams. They're not sure how much time, but that also puts a dent in the Rams run because the Rams are looking really good right now. So those are the three bad things that happened yesterday. There is one more thing that happened that was bad yesterday, and you may not like this, but Shedeur Sanders did not play well yesterday at all for the Browns. 31-3. And I didn't watch the game. I saw some highlights here and there, and then I kind of had my 4 screens up, and I kind of was looking and seeing what was happening. And I was like, what's the media going to say about this after this game? And it just did not look good. And in my own opinion, and I'm going to let y'all go after this. In my own opinion, I felt like Kevin Stefanski, the coach, and again, I've never coached in the NFL. I never played in the NFL. But when we talk about things from the fans' perspective, and the eye test can maybe tell you some things, he looked completely unfazed by the fact they were getting blown out yesterday. He looked unfazed, as if he was saying, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I did some things that I did. But in doing some of the things that you did, I'm like, were those things done purposefully, or were they done based on the fact that Mr. Stefanski has a good coaching IQ? I mean, good coach, right? Has won Coach of the Year twice, all that. But I don't know. There's some more questions out there about, is it the player? Is it the coach? Was he not prepared? Blah, 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 blah. So I say this, and I'll let you guys go. I say that yesterday, Shedeur played against a legit defense. And he probably saw some things he had never seen before, including speed. And I think that might have been a determining factor. That's not to say that it's covering up his play. But I think all in all, there are some factors that come in as far as you playing against a legit defense and the fact that you might not have had enough to prepare you for something like that, which is, number one, not his fault. And then number two, once the keys have been handed to you and you want the opportunity, you got to step up to the plate as well. So I'll let y'all go from there. All the bad news, injuries, and Shedeur Sanders play.
Is he used to stepping up to the plate without his dad's help? That is something I stand on since he got into the NFL. It's like, yes, you both are fathers, and I'm an auntie, and I see where the fathers can, not saying you both, I'm not saying you, but I can see where the fathers can kind of, especially with the sons when it comes to sports, they can kind of hinder their sons, and they kind of like put them in a shell where it's like, here's the world on the outside, you stay in this bubble, I'm going to protect you in this bubble. And now when they go out into the world and they're out of that bubble, it's kind of like they're so fragile that when anything happens or when any change happens, the moment something happens, it breaks them. And that's where I feel like with Shedeur is, I saw Dion doing a great thing for him, but at the same time, it's almost like he was coddled a little too much. And so when he's like playing these defenders and these really great teams, it's kind of like he's going back to his college ways and he's not in the NFL. So he hasn't really matured in the NFL space yet, where he's kind of like that baby where he's just like, all right, I can do this. All right, I'm second guessing myself. And I see a lot of second guessing happening. And that's part of, his dad followed him all through his college years. I mean, high school, everything, because he had the shows and everything. And so you saw like he was playing for his dad basically out the womb. And now it's kind of like, well, I'm under new leadership, under new management and everything. I'm out that bubble. And once I'm out that bubble, it's kind of like I put on like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I can talk. Yeah, I can play. But I need my dad. Where's my dad? Where's my dad? And that's where I feel like what's kind of pushing him out of the Deion Sanders is my father phase and pushing him to, no, my name is Shedeur Sanders and I need to know how to play. Because the NFL is not paying my dad, they're paying me. That's what I believe.
Oh, your face is saying it all, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and go ahead.
She can drop the mic, man. She can drop the mic.
I didn't want to be the bad guy the whole show, so I tried to be a little nice about it. So I'm glad somebody else took that on.
I'll do this because we go, but because I'm okay. Since we all on Shedeur now, but I'll also go to the other bad news. But Denise said it all, guys. I don't want to add to it. I think she was preaching. If I had Tide money, I'll give it to her right now. But she was preaching. I do believe that she's right. I think fathers coaching their sons can like almost hinder them. And like you said, he was in that Sanders bubble. They probably weren't fixing things that went wrong. You know what I mean? So you just keep getting away with it and getting away with it. And his job was never – his job was, like I feel like back in the day when I was
never
playing,
in jeopardy.
You got it, T. Can you
never in
jeopardy? That's the bubble.
Yeah, that's the bubble. And I believe that I couldn't have said it better. Like you killed it. So, but with the I think the league may start looking into the turf about these ACL injuries and these knee injuries. And also I think some of these knee injuries are coming from guys can't hit in the head no more. So they're now, if you saw the Zach Ertz hit,
yes,
they hit him in the knee. So it's a lot of knee injuries happening. Some some untouched and some touched. And I think the league has to now look into maybe this next turf is not as good as we thought it was. You know what I mean? Maybe it's good for weather, but it's not good for knees. You know what I mean? So, but that the Shador topic, Denise, that was yours.
No problem.
Listen, I'm just glad somebody else said that. I gave the Bengals their just due. So I'm like, all right, somebody else can give Shador his if need be. I'll really try to be nice about that one. And again, listen, and my own thoughts, and I think this too, man. I'm just going to be real, but I'm not going to be outlandish with it. I think when it comes to our African American cohorts, whether you're in journalism, you're a reporter, or you're an insider, I think that when it comes to us, we're always going to root for our own, right? But then you have to also be like, okay, but there's a standard, and the standard is the standard, no matter what, no matter who you are. And so my thing is that we can't make excuses for Shador Sanders because we feel he's being done wrong. Now, listen, I will say this. I don't think Shador Sanders was a 5th round pick. I don't believe that. But I don't believe he was a 1st round pick either. So he could have fell anywhere between 1 and 3. I think 5 was a bit of a stretch, and I think 5 was done purposefully. I'm just going to be honest about that. They were sending a message. NFL was sending a message. But then once you're now here, it's like, okay, now show us what you can do. And I think that the questions will remain until the truth of the matter comes out, or 20 years from now as a documentary on Shador Sanders and why things happened the way they happened, right? So we don't know. I think too, and then Denise, you said like Omar said, you hit the nail on the head. That as fathers, yes, we can coddle our sons. We want them to be successful. I will tell you this. Me personally, now my son's in high school. He's playing football now. And I told him, I said, look, if you want to play more, you have to work harder. I'm like, I'm not talking to the coaches. I'm not asking the questions. I'm like, you have to want it. I said, if I want it more than you do, I'm like, that's a problem. I'm like, you have to decide what you need to do to get that. I'm like, I will work out with you. I'll do everything I can with you. I said, but I cannot play the game for you. It's just that simple, right? And so one thing that I've learned for my son and my daughter, because my daughter, this thing she wants to do is that the world is different than what you see, of course, in the bubble, right? And so I teach my children, hey, look, number one, we're going to finish what we started. That's number one. Number two, I'm like, if we quit something, it's because it's becoming detrimental to our mental, physical, spiritual health. That's the only way we quit something. Other than that, we finish. Period. End of story. Right? And so, and even when there's challenges, we still try to figure out, hey, how can we tackle this challenge rather than just stopping or quitting? But again, if it's just detrimental to your mental, physical, and spiritual health, we might need to quit that, right? So I think, too, to Denise's point with Shador, we're seeing him outside of his father's coaching. And I said before, a while back, I said, I want to see him outside of Colorado or outside of someone coaching him other than his father. We never get to see that till the NFL came. And right now, Deion is quiet, and I'm not throwing any rocks at Deion because I think Deion's a great father. He was a great NFL player. I think as of right now, he is a good coach, not a great coach, a good coach. At the same time, those horsemen that he had at Colorado are now gone. And so I'm not sure what his plans are for recruiting or if he's just making plans for an exit. I don't know. But I think overall, Deion Sanders did what a number of former athletes have done. He did his best to use nepotism to get his children where they need to be. I'm not going to hate on that, but in doing so, I think you need to also help your children and help them prepare for what's coming, not for just the next step. Because when I say the next step, meaning the next step is, okay, We're going to go play pro sports. Okay. But what's coming with that, right? Because you can have it all. You can also lose it all. When that happens, that can be a bad thing. A lot of NFL players and NBA players who are African American, 60% of them are bankrupt 2-3 years after they retire or after they have been let go or pushed out the league, right? So, anyway, other than that, any thoughts on any of the injuries, guys, before we move on to any other news?
I'm good.
No.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. NCAA news. We had some college football games, bowl games, the past 2 weeks. I'm going to start with Indiana, Ohio State. Right there. Indiana, Ohio State. Now, listen, I'm a Michigan guy. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to poke the bear on this one. I'm just going to be honest.
That's why I'm laughing.
I'm going to poke the bear on this one. All right?
That's why I'm laughing.
Because, number one, I didn't watch the game. But I also kept tabs on what was going on. And so I kind of saw what was going on. I saw it was a low-scoring game, and I said to myself, Indiana's going to win this game because the game is there aren't enough points being scored. And I noticed that when Ohio State plays a game and the points are low in the past 2 or 3 seasons, they don't do well in low-scoring games. Since last year, they played Michigan, and Michigan was not ranked. And Michigan beat them 13-10. What was the score for the Indiana-Ohio State game when they played against Indiana?
That just passed?
Yeah.
I'll get it for you. Keep talking.
I know what it was. I'm asking y'all to see if y'all know.
13-10.
The score was 13-10. Low-scoring games for Ohio State do not work in their favor. I'm just saying. Now, here's the one thing I think that we learned, or may not have learned. We learned that Indiana is actually legit. That's what we learned, number one. Number two, we also recognize, again, like I said, low-scoring games don't work in Ohio State's favor. Now, we'll see what happens when the college playoff happens, right? But Indiana's going to be in there, too. So the question is, who gets further? Now, if Indiana doesn't go as far as Ohio State, people will say, oh, that was just the happenstance. Indiana got them, and it just happened to happen. If Indiana goes further than Ohio State does, that'll be a story, if you ask me. So a couple of the bowl games happened too, but that was the one everybody was watching because they were like, look, it's number one versus number two. First of all, that's never happened in the Big Ten. I don't think it's happened anywhere as far as another conference is concerned. I could be wrong. But number one versus number two, you don't really see that unless it happens to be a national championship. So that was number one. Then number two, again, I'm a Michigan guy. Like I said, I'm going to poke that bear. And, they beat us this year, and rightfully so. We didn't play well. But, yeah, I think we'll see what Ohio State does in the playoffs. And Indiana as well. Go from there.
Did they drop a ranking or no?
I didn't see that. I didn't see, no, they did. Indiana's now number one. Then Ohio State's number two.
Oh, so it just flopped.
Yeah, it just flopped.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay,
flopped.
That ain't bad.
But Indiana gave them their first loss, so it just rightfully because Indiana's still undefeated. So
right.
So it was the first time that a number one and number two played in the bowl game that wasn't national championship, and the first time that two undefeated teams played in the Big Ten championship. So, yeah. Anything on that from you two? I got one more we're going to talk about as far as NCAA football, and we'll move on to I got a little volleyball thing I want to talk about too. So we're good on that.
I'll say this just real quick about Indiana. Let's just watch how those games are called because they got the Heisman Trophy winner, and I know how. How things go. Right? Let's just keep watching how the games are called. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Because they got the guy, and it is a business, and he's the guy. So we'll just see. We'll see.
All right. Well, listen, you heard it here first. We're gonna see what happens with the Indiana and the game calling with the Heisman Trophy candidate. So
exactly.
The next thing for NCAA news, Notre Dame refused to play any bowl games after being, in their eyes, shortchanged for the college playoffs. So Notre Dame felt that they should have been in the college football playoff. They didn't make it. Miami did. They didn't. And then they were going to be given a bowl game to play, and they decided they were going to withdraw their name from all bowl games because they did not make the college football playoff. At the same time as this happened, news came out that other colleges are now highly thinking of not scheduling Notre Dame when they're scheduled next year. Notably, teams that are in either the SEC or the Big Ten. So, with that said, a couple of things have happened. Number one, people said that Notre Dame was not playing in any conference bowl games, but other teams were. They were home because Notre Dame's not a part of the conference. Number one. Number two, they're saying now next year, Notre Dame, if they have, if they're in the top 12 next year, they would get an automatic bid to the college football playoff. Number three, look at Denise's face. She's like, what? Yeah. Number three, a lot of people are saying that they don't feel bad for Notre Dame because they have refused over and over again to join a conference. They've chosen to be independent. With those three things said, and knowing what you know about Notre Dame, what they did, what say ye?
Goodbye. I mean, if you're gonna act like that, goodbye. Like, I'm sure there's like 16 other different games between Ohio State, Maryland, every other team you could probably think of in college. Like, okay, that's how I just feel. Like, I'm not trying to rag on any team, Notre Dame or anybody, but I would just say goodbye. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and, I mean, they don't pay me, but also, they're gonna look at who's bringing in the most ticket sales, who's bringing the most views on ESPN and all the sports streaming services, and okay, let's focus on those games. That's one less team that we have to worry about on our schedule. That's it. All I have to say.
Yeah, plain and simple. Goodbye. Okay. What do you say, Ho?
Well, I say this: they've only missed the bowl once in the last 16 years. So with this withdrawal, I say like Denise, goodbye. Like they become privileged. It's almost like they're the darlings of NCAA.
Exactly.
Like, I do what I want to do. I don't have to join a conference. We're Notre Dame. I can't, like you should be happy to play us. What? No. So now it looks like the NCAA is not having it. They don't like the decision that they made. And it's going to backfire. I like their coach, so hopefully that doesn't affect him in any way for future like jobs.
Yeah,
I know there's better jobs in Notre Dame. I know that's not like it used to be when Lou Holtz was there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I say let them go. Hey, you don't want to come play? Good riddance. And it should affect them. Teams shouldn't want to play them in the future. You know what I mean? Because who do you guys think you got? Like, who do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like, what is this?
Some very strong words, man. Wow. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's just I wasn't expecting y'all to come that hard.
I mean, give somebody else another shot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say too, because the comparison was that Notre Dame is the America's team, like the Dallas Cowboys are.
Yes,
right. But at the same time, it's like you haven't lived up to that either over the past few years. Like you haven't lived up to it. Like technically, it's like with the Dallas Cowboys, it's like technically it was like New England, and then it became the Chiefs.
Yep.
And now with Notre Dame, it's like, well, technically it was you, and then you kind of passed that on to Alabama. And then now, but now it's like it's kind of up in the air. Like there is really no like America's team as far as college is concerned. Like the past two championships have gone to Big Ten teams, Michigan and Ohio State. Other than before that, when Nick Saban was still there, Alabama was still getting there, right? So it's like their prestige, like it's still there because it's Notre Dame. Like it's not going to ever go away, but it's just not what it used to be, right? Even with their TV deal with NBC, like they're on NBC all the time, but like who's really watching Notre Dame play? Unless they're playing Stanford, USC, Michigan, or Penn State, like no one's actually watching. right? So I get it, but I think they're hurting themselves in a big way because the NCAA is different than what it was before the NIL came in. And now what the NCAA is saying, like they're pretty much saying, we don't need you to be in the playoff. We don't need you.
Yeah.
So you can take this bowl game we're going to give you, or you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Right? Basically what they're saying. I feel bad for Notre Dame because they made this decision, and it's kind of like they wanted to throw their weight around and expect the NCAA say, "Oh no, please don't do that. Don't do that." We're like, okay, well, go ahead, do what you normally do, is what you want, and we're going to make sure that now that when you do that, you're going to pay the price for it. That's simple. Now, with that said, I will say this too: they did lose the 2 teams early in the season. That kind of like they lost to Miami early in the season, and they lost to someone else. I can't remember who it was. They lost to might have been South Carolina. They lost to, I believe it was. So I get it. Miami came on later, but you did lose to them in the beginning of the year. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, Miami might not have been ranked then. I don't believe, but if they weren't ranked in the top 12 at the time. I think they kind of just came on to come up. Now I could be wrong. But I also know you lost to a Miami team that got better as the season went along and was beating people as they came up. So I get it. The one thing I will say that is in Notre Dame's defense, just as a side note, you have a 3-loss Alabama team in the playoff. Notre Dame was a 2-loss team. Now I get it. Alabama played against Georgia and Alabama. That's the SEC. I get it. But Alabama is the only 3-loss team in the playoff. And Georgia kicked their butt real good in the SEC championship. I mean, real good. So it's kind of like there's a bit of justification there, but that's the only thing that Notre Dame could have to hang on to is that. And if that's going to be your argument, that's not a good enough argument for what you've done in the past 3 or 4 years by refusing to join a conference and basically telling the NCAA, we're going to do what we want to do. And now the NCAA is saying, no, we're done with that. Right? So that's what I'll say. All right. Last thing. Sherrone Moore, Michigan head coach, was fired suddenly. Oh my God. For all of us, it was suddenly. According to Michigan University, this was actually something that was ongoing that they actually got, according to Michigan University now, that they had bona fide proof of him having a fireable offense that came up. So when I first heard this, I'm like, what just happened? Because we all know that Sherrone Moore is the first African-American coach at Michigan University. Coach under Jim Harbaugh. He's beaten Ohio State twice, once as an interim head coach and once as a head coach, and then took over for Harbaugh when he left. Well, took over for him as an interim coach when Harbaugh was there when he got suspended, and then took over once he moved back to the NFL and has done, fairly well with Michigan. Not as well as when Harbaugh was there, but fairly well. When I first saw this, my first thought was, okay, what happened between yesterday and today? That's Sherrone Moore. Sherrone Moore.
Shamar Moore.
I kept saying that too. I kept saying that. I was like, wait, Shamar?
That Sherrone Moore got
Yeah.
fired from Michigan University. And as I started looking at the news and diving into it, I'm like, oh, so he had a relationship with a staff member, according to them, an inappropriate relationship with a staff member at Michigan University. And when you say inappropriate, there could be one or two things. Either she was a student or he was someone who was over her. And so technically that's inappropriate when you're someone who you're over, you are dating or having a relationship with, right? So according to them, he was someone who was a superior to her, having a relationship. On top of that, now listen, you have the right to do what you want or like to do, right? But Sherrone Moore is also married with children. And so here's the thing. That doesn't play the biggest part in this. I mean, in our minds, yes, it does. But the biggest part in this is that if he was single and had no children, this still would have been a fireable offense, according to Michigan University, because you are now in a relationship with someone who you are a superior of or over. So, and evidently, this is something that had been going on, and like people actually knew about it based on the reports. Like they knew this was going on. And then it ended up, I guess, coming out, breaking news. I guess the university didn't have enough evidence. And then when they did, they figured, okay, you're done, you're fired. My last point is that it's sad because Michigan has a bowl game to play, and he won't be able to coach that bowl game. It now goes to I believe, the defensive coordinator, I believe, who's going to coach now in his stead. And then you have these young men who have been looking up to this man since he took over from Harbaugh, and also looked up to him while he was there when Harbaugh was there because he took over from that spot. Listen, this is any coach that young men look up to in college, but it's just sad that it had to happen to him because you thought that he was probably going to be here at least, I would say, a good 5 years, and then they might have a contract negotiation to see, because the money he was going to make on the contract that he had was like $14 million.
Good money. Yep.
That money, from what I understand, like he's not going to get that $14 million. Now he's going to get what he's owed as far as this season, but I don't think he's going to get that $14 million that he's going to have in his contract for the next 5 years. So enough of me talking.
He already made like 11.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of that situation there?
I don't know. Do you guys know who Dr. Umar is?
Dr. Umar?
Yeah.
I've heard of Dr. Umar. I'm not too keen on who he is. But
this is a Dr. Umar moment, right?
This is a Dr. Umar moment. So I need you to look him. I'm not gonna say what he says, but there's a line that he says where he talks about snow bunnies, and this is that exact line that came to my head, where he says, "Black queens forever, snow bunnies never." I'm sorry, but that line came to my head. I'm not discriminating. It's just that exact line came to my head, and all I saw was Dr. Umar's face. When I text you, TK, about it, I was like, wait. And when you told me, and then I actually looked it up, I just instantly thought of Dr. Umar. And I mean, love marriage is good. I'm not saying putting down on marriage, but I mean, I don't feel bad for him. You knew better. Like, and you're setting an example for these young men that are in the college space, and even the young women too, because you work around women in that sector.
Yeah.
And you do something like this, like, and you're married, I don't feel bad. And that's all I have to say.
Now I will say this: when I sent that to you in a text, you said, "Oh my goodness, like what happened?" Like at the time, like I knew there was more to it than that. I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, there's more to this than him just getting fired. There's something else that's going on, and like
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Because it happened all of a sudden. It's kind of like, and everybody was like, "What? Like, what happened between the Ohio State game and him getting fired?" Because I knew, I'm like, I had nothing to do with Ohio State. That I know. I'm like, something has happened that we are not aware of, and it's like, what in the world? So, go ahead, what you got?
So, and back to the Dr. Umar moment, just real quick. His actual wife, though, is Caucasian too. So, it wasn't like he picked between.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was going home anyway. So, again, one, if you want to be a cheater, just don't get married, brother. Like, don't get married. You are a NCAA coach. Like, you don't have to do that. That's not right. You have a family. Everything just changed. But this is what I think happened, TK and Denise. I think that the timeline is not what we think it is.
Okay.
We think they got wind of the inappropriate relationship, and then, you know what I mean? No. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that they're saying he was telling the girl that he was going to leave his wife, right? And she was going to, and he never did it. Basically, he was giving her, feeding her a bunch of, you got it. Yep, and then she was going to come out and reveal that like, we are together and blah, blah, blah. And when he got that wind of that, that's when he ended up at her house with home invasion with the knife. You get it? You get the timeline here?
Mm-hmm.
So Michigan catches wind of this and go, oh, he got to go. And it looked like it was overnight. But this incident probably already happened, which landed this man in jail. And he threw his life away. Like, I guess it's a shame. He's not that old. He's a younger guy, right?
Yeah.
He's a younger guy. And just, it's a sad story, man. And like I said, I believe this with all my heart. What is done in the dark will come to the light. I believe that with all of my heart. Like, there's nothing you can do on the side thinking you can get away with it. It's going to eventually come out. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And he didn't do himself any favors by lying to the girl. You were lying to her. So you were lying to both sides. One, you didn't let your family know what you were doing, which I get it. But then you're telling this other girl, I'm going to leave them for you. And it's like, come on, buddy. That's burning the candles at both ends. You know what I mean? So it was going to end up getting to a head soon. So sad story.
It's unfortunate, but that was the top of the NCAA news list. So we did miss a topic in the NFL, but we'll come back to that at the end just to cover that real quick. But let's move on to.
Can I say one thing?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say all I can see is this make a Tyler Perry movie coming out about this. I don't know if it's the next Why Did I Get Married or whatever, but there's a segment coming out about this. Just saying. Mark my words tonight.
You know what the sad thing is, Denise?
It's a sad story.
That same thought crossed my mind, but you just the one that said it. And that's just sad.
It's a sad story.
BET special. Anyway,
starring Dr. Umar.
We'll come back to that. All right, last NCAA thing. I actually was watching NCAA women's volleyball yesterday, and I was watching Nebraska versus Texas. I'm sorry, Texas Tech, and number 1 Nebraska versus number 3 Texas Tech. And I got my 4 screens up, and I was watching, kind of glancing over at Texas Tech and Nebraska game. And I'm like, they are really going at it. At the game, about almost 3 hours volleyball game. And they're playing in the Nebraska basketball stadium. It's packed out, like brim to brim packed out. I'm like, this is really serious. Like, now I've seen some men's volleyball games. I've seen some, and also some women's, and I haven't actually sat there and watched a whole volleyball match. But I actually started watching this match. And I'm like, these girls are really getting it. Like, they were getting it, like, for real, for real. So I'm just going to put a plug in for NCAA women's volleyball, or men's too. But, I mean, if you want to see some really good sporting event, watch a men's or women's volleyball match. It actually is really live. Like, it's really a good thing to watch. And I was watching the women's one, and, I mean, it was blowing my mind. And as far as I know, I think Texas Tech did end up winning that match, I believe. So I'm not sure how the rankings go now, but they were playing in Nebraska. Nebraska was ranked number 1, they're ranked number 3. And I think Texas Tech ended up winning that match 3-2. It's the best out of 5. So they won 3-2. And I think the matches, each set goes to, you have to hit 25 in order to win the set, where normal volleyball is like 18-21. It was 25 you had to get to. So it was real interesting. I just wanted to throw that plug in there because I think that college sports is overshadowed by football and basketball so much that other sports don't get their shine. Volleyball, soccer, baseball, softball, and any other team sport, hockey, lacrosse, things like that. I know that those aren't the popular sports as far as the culture, but there's some other really good sports out there in the NCAA. When you get a chance, I might take a chance and watch them. They will really, they might blow your mind. So that's all I wanted to say. NBA news real quick. We don't have a tab for that, but NBA news. CP3 got sent home by the Clippers about a week ago. And when I first heard the news, the first thing my mind was, why was CP3 sent home? I'm like, oh, maybe he was sick. He had to go home. But then CP3 puts this tweet out and says, I just got sent home by the Clippers. I'm like, here we go. What has happened? So the story that transpired was that not only did the Clippers send him home, but they also decided to part ways with CP3. Now, CP3, for those of you who don't know, that is Chris Paul, who has been in the NBA for the past, I think it's 12, 13 seasons, something like that. And he's going to the Hall of Fame, that's for sure. But for this to happen and go down, just kind of made me say, what happened? So the news out there is that the shortened version of this is that there has Chris Paul has been holding people accountable for what's going on with the organization, whether it's players, coaches, and even executives.
Yep.
Now, my question is, what has been said or done in him holding people accountable? My first question. Number two, Chris Paul is also on the Players Association president, if I'm not mistaken, for the players. And so he's been that for probably at least 6 seasons. Players Association, the president of the Players Association, or he works with the Players Association. I'm not getting it all correctly, but he works in the executive realm of the NBA on behalf of the players, right? And so my question outside of that was, accountability is a huge thing. And in this new generation of players, accountability is something that we're not holding this generation to. So you have someone like Chris Paul, who came up in the Kobe era, the Mamba era, and he starts holding players accountable for their actions, mostly on the court. I'm not sure about off the court, but on the court, because the Clippers aren't playing well. They got Kawhi Leonard, they've got Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and CP3, and a few other players. And it's kind of like, we should be performing better than this. And if that's the case where he's holding players accountable for their play on the court, I don't have a problem with that. Because that's how teams get better. That's how you win games. You hold yourself accountable for what you're doing, for what you are or what you are not doing. Coaches, maybe a different story. I'm not sure how that conversation went, but I think if there's accountability on the coach's part, that kind of falls under Ty Lue. At the same time, I'm not sure when it came to coaches or even execs for the Clippers organization, if Chris Paul kind of used his position in the organization as a player's representative to kind of push that envelope. I don't know. But what I do know, as far as the players are concerned, I have no problem with them keeping the players accountable for their actions or what they have done or haven't done. The coaches and execs, I'm not sure about all that. Again, we're not insiders. We're just reporting on what has been said. But what do you guys have to say about what you've heard about Chris Paul, number one, being sent home, number two, the Clippers departing ways with him, and number three, him holding people accountable, particularly players, about their play on the court? It could be off the court too, but because all of that plays a part in how you're playing with your teammates. What do you guys have to say?
I just think, of course you want somebody that's going to hold people accountable. It's a professional game. I think even Kobe did it at the Olympics, and I believe in 2008 in Beijing, where players were going out late at night, and he's like, hey, like, we have games to play tomorrow. Like, this is not over yet. And it's kind of like you can't fault a man for wanting to have not only accountability, but also if he's a part of the association, then he sees things that maybe others are not seeing or others are looking over in a leadership. So then that, as the Adam Silver as the GM, he should be looking like, okay, so Chris, what are you seeing that I may not see, or what are you seeing that other people in leadership are not seeing? And actually sit down and talk with him about that rather than let him go. And for me, if you're going to let him go over something like that, then that means that you like the dysfunction and you don't want to change anything, because wherever the fights are coming in, that means that's bringing in more money for you. And if that's bringing in more revenue, it's like, well, no, I'm comfortable with how things are going right now, and why would I want to change that? So I don't agree with it, and I mean, he can retire, that's fine, but I think he should have a bigger role in the Players Association now. So
I will say real quick before you go, I'm not sure if
Mhm.
Adam Silver has responded to this, and I'm not sure if anything happened with him and Adam Silver. I know as far
Right.
as the executives go, it's like the executives of the NBA, but Adam Silver's name never came up. So I just want to make sure I'm
Okay.
just clarifying that. But there
Okay.
are execs that they said that he kind of challenged and we're holding accountable. So I'm not sure. Again, I have not heard a statement come from Adam Silver on this. So I'm not sure if he's going to or not, but I think that he should, being the fact that the position that Chris Paul has with the Players Association. So.
Okay. So then, sorry, go ahead.
No,
So
go ahead. I want to
say,
clarify that way people don't.
right.
We're not giving out bad information. So yeah, but no, everything you're
Okay.
saying up to just about Adam Silver, everything you're saying is correct. I believe. Yep.
Right. So then that's where my next question is: Are these execs that he's holding accountable? They're like, the money's coming in, the money's flowing through all these so much situations going on. Like, why? I don't care what's going on. Like, I'm just here to collect the check. And now Chris is seeing through all the foolishness, and he's like, oh, this needs to be changed. That needs to be changed. Like, let's fix this. But they don't want to do it. So.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Omar. I think you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Okay. So it looks like the team is called his behavior disruptive.
Correct.
Again, like I said, this generation of players, I don't think they can be told what to do or how to act. I think they get mad at guys who call them out. Like you said, Kobe did it in the Olympics, right? And it sounds like this went from player and it escalated. He probably approached the players first, didn't get a response. Went to Coach Lou, didn't probably get a response. Went to upper management and said, hey, like, something's got to give here. Then they probably came back down to Coach Lou, and it made him look bad, and then they probably had a meet behind his back and said, this is disruptive behavior. We can't get rid of all these guys. We got such and such amount of money tied up. He got to go. He's not doing anything. He's averaging 2 points a game. I'm making that up. No, that's not a correct stat.
Right.
I don't think we saw. I don't think
You're putting all disclaimers out there, right?
Yeah, I was like, wait. 2 points?
Where am I getting this from? I don't think it was too far from it, though. It's not like he was playing a lot of minutes. And I just think they made a business decision. Like, we got these younger guys who bring in tickets at, like you said, money's coming in. Let's not disrupt the apple cart. And let's do business as usual. We're a bad organization anyway. We're back to that again, right? It always comes back to the leadership and the organization. It's a bad one. Yeah. They never win anything. So they're fine with it. And, let's get this guy that's yelling and crying out of here. We're not going to get better. We're not trying to get better. And this guy's just disrupting the culture of bad.
Yeah, the bad culture. Let's make a few things clear. Number one, Chris Paul's played for the Clippers twice. Once when they had Blake Griffin, all that, Lob City, all that,
they
right?
Were good back then.
A team that should have won an NBA championship or at least contended for one.
Yes, sir.
Underachieved team. Now he's back there, and he has made it very clear that this is his last year. He's going to retire, right? The Clippers are 6-19. How much better are you going to get?
That's why he's talking.
You've now let Chris Paul go because he wanted to hold guys accountable. And listen, I don't know how he did it. We're kind of speculating how he did it. We don't know how he did it. But you're 6-19. You have 3 veterans on your team. One who is considered one of the top 10 point guards in NBA history. 2, in the words of Stephen A. Smith, you have the most unmarketable superstar on your team who consistently is at home rather than playing games in Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
And you also have James Harden, who is probably on his decline as well. as an NBA player. And now you have the young guys around these guys that are playing. They're 6 and 19. So this decision is a business decision, like O said, and that's okay. But how does this look on you as an organization when you're 6 and 19? Here is my suggestion to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Here we go.
Move out of LA and go somewhere else. Because it's quite clear that the Lakers are the team of LA. And the Clippers most likely will never be the team of LA. You might need to go somewhere else and start the franchise somewhere else because it just looks bad. Now, again, I'm not the owner. I'm not any of the execs. I'm not the coaches. Again, we don't know. And this could be one of those things that happens 20 years from now. We get a documentary on what happened with CP3 and the Clippers. One thing I do want to say, because I don't want to keep harping on that, but Denise, you brought up how Kobe holds the USA team in 2008 accountable. Here's the thing, though, too. Kobe didn't say much when he was on that team because Kobe was not originally a part of that team. Right. They asked him to come and play because they realized after they played in that FIBA, they weren't as good as they thought they were.
Yeah.
So they said, we need somebody else. And mind you, LeBron James was on that team. Carmelo Anthony was on that team. Now, a lot of these guys were still in their younger years, but they had game. There was game there. But it was all based on our talent. There was no cohesiveness. There was no, mentality because the world had caught up. When Kobe came in, and again, there was a night. If you ever seen it, it's a Netflix original. It's a documentary. They show what happens. These guys went out to go party.
Exactly.
They came in at 5 o'clock in the morning to the hotel from partying all night long. As they're getting on the elevator, Kobe's coming off the elevator. They're like, yo, where are you going? Kobe's like, I'm going to the weight room. They was like, oh, man, we'll see you later, man. Like, I'm tired, 5 a.m. And they said when Kobe came out the elevator, he was already sweating. Hadn't even got to the weight room yet. You know why? Because Kobe was in the gym at 4.
Wow.
And then went to the weight room at 5.
5, yep.
And then what happened was, one by one, everybody started coming to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, Carmelo, he said, look, 5 o'clock, that's too early for me, man. I got to 6. He said, but after that, he was like, I was in there. That changed the mentality and the culture. And everyone said, this is why he's that dude. He's constantly in the gym. He's constantly in the weight room. That changed everything. Had not Kobe joined that team, they probably would have lost again in the Olympics because they didn't take the mentality of someone saying, look, you got to work hard for this. It's not just going to fall in your lap. And I get it. And so that just kind of brings back what Denise's point said is that Kobe didn't have to be vocal. He just led by example, right? And listen, CP3, he may have to be a vocal person with the Clippers because you got a lot of young guys, generations have changed. But again, we can only speculate what has happened. We will find out what the truth is later down the road unless someone decides to talk about it. But I think as far as CP3 goes, it's sad because he's already announced he's retiring this year. And then we have this happen. So now it's like, at this point in time, he's not a part of any team right now. And my thing is he just going to retire and call it a day? Or is someone going to pick him up and let him finish out the season and retire? I personally would love for him to go to Charlotte and retire there. Because that's where he started. That's just me. That's just me. Any other thoughts on that? No? Okay. Well, Denise, we're going to shift gears. We're going to go to Jamaica, man. Talk about some of your things that are going on with Jamaica and some of the Olympics and their qualifying matches and all that stuff. So you have the floor on that.
Yes, let's bring it to the sunshine. Recently, the rugby team beat Canada 34-12. That's great for Jamaica. I think especially preparing for the Olympics and the World Cup as well. The men's basketball team, they beat Puerto Rico twice, 92-97 and 92-90. So great success there. And a lot of people didn't know Jamaica had a basketball team until that game. And just to clarify, Jamaica does have a basketball team. And of course, we like to win. Because I didn't know that either until I put the game on. I was like, wait, oh, that's Jamaica on a basketball team. Okay, I'll take it. So very happy about that and what's going on with them. Also, we call them the Reggae Girls. It's the Jamaica's national soccer team. They are doing well, getting up there in the rankings as well. But the sad Reggae Boys, the soccer team, they lost recently against Caraco, and right now they have a chance. They have a chance, guys. They have a chance to win, to qualify the World Cup again. So I believe in June of next year, they will be coming to Houston and playing against Caraco to see if they can qualify for the semifinals for the World Cup. So that's my bit of Jamaica news, and let's be praying for the Reggae Boys because I want to go. I actually plan to go see that game if all things work out. So
okay, Jamaica, man, yeah.
Some more coming.
Good news, good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. We talk about other things here. We dive into other areas, so it's all good.
All
right. Last two things, I believe. Let me see. Number one, I wanted to go back to the NFL real quick and talk about Philip Rivers, 44 years old, started for the Indianapolis Colts this past Sunday after being out of the league for 5 seasons. Right? Came back to the Colts. They brought him back in. Almost won the game for them yesterday against the who did they play yesterday? Was the Texans? Can't remember who they played. That's almost kind of how. But played well. Didn't do anything too crazy. But 44 years old and was out there kind of like he had never left almost. Like not the Philip Rivers of old. But like at 44 years old playing, I mean, who do you got, Denise? Who did they play?
They played the Seahawks. And they beat them 8. Yeah.
Seahawks won on the last minute field goal.
Top defense in the league, too.
Yep.
18-16.
And so I just want to bring that up because I know that there was a quarterback who said that he was a bit disturbed that Philip Rivers was playing in the league. Because he felt as though y'all know what I'm talking about. Mr. Cam Newton. He said that he felt a little disrespected because he's like, how come no one called me to come and take this position or try out for this position for the Indianapolis Colts? And listen, Cam has some legit reasons, but I will say this. You gotta let it go, brother. Gotta let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Listen, Cam, you were one of the baddest to do it, one of the best to do it. I know there was a time in your career where, things kind of went a little south and you came back again. And I understand it. Like, he's allowed to feel that way, right? But I feel that in him feeling that way, it's almost like you got to keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
And not make it public. Because that can kind of hurt your on-screen image, especially with the platform you have now, right? And that's just my opinion on it. Like, I could be wrong, but because listen, he is 100% right in feeling that way and having those emotions. But I think putting it out there like that made it seem just a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? It felt petty.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So, and again, not saying anything bad about Canada because Cam Newton has a great mind. He's a great guy. He's on TV doing sports. He speaks truth, and he also speaks from the player's perspective, from a guy who played the game at a very high level. So he drops knowledge all the time about the game, why things are happening, why this happens in the organization, what happens in the locker room, why quarterbacks do what they do, why they do what they don't do. why they check down, what they read. So he's giving us the field view from a quarterback perspective, right? Just this here, I don't know. Listen, I would probably feel the same way Cam felt if that were me. Like, why didn't they call me and see if I wanted to come and do that? I'm still like Cam is 36 years old. 36, 44. I'm like, that kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know. Here's the thing. Now, would Cam have gone back and played for the Colts? I don't know. I don't know if he could have done anything to resurrect them, or because here's the thing with the Colts. And I know we're going over today, but it's all good. We're on every 2 weeks, so we're giving you some good stuff. It's gonna be all right. You good. You good. You good. But here's the thing with the Colts. I was not a believer in the Colts when they were winning games, and they were like, "Oh man, the Colts are 8-1." I was like, "Let's see what happens when it actually matters." And next thing you know, they've lost their last 4 games. Now I think that now they're 8-6, something like that. 8-6, 8-5, 8-6. And could possibly be on the outside looking in coming into the season if it happens. So, in all honesty, if anything for Cam Newton, it would have been a paycheck. It wouldn't have been I'm a resurrect. Now, he could have helped them win out the rest of the season, possibly, and they might have had a playoff game to play. Would they have won that playoff game? I don't know. I think Cam Newton would have given them a chance to actually get in the playoffs. But at the same time, the coach felt that Phillip Rivers would give them that chance, right? Now, here's the thing, too, with that. And I'll let you guys jump in after this. The offense that the coach were running is the same offense that what I understand is the offense that Phillip Rivers' son is running at his high school team.
Yeah.
So Phillip Rivers is familiar with the offense that the coach are running.
Right.
So it made sense for them to bring him in and let him be their quarterback now that theirs is down. I get it. So those are just some nuggets on why that happened and what went down. But any thoughts you guys have on that, whether it be on Phillip Rivers, on Cam Newton, or anything involving that particular aspect of what went down?
Yes.
You got it.
Go ahead, because I started already. Go ahead.
Okay. This I believe. I believe Cam Newton has mastered the art of staying in the airwaves, staying and going viral, and saying things that will get us to talking about it. That was a brilliant move. But if you want to be realistic, there's probably 5 to 7 quarterbacks that should think it's a slap in the face way before we get to Cam Newton, right? We got Nick Foles, Super Bowl champion. I mean, it's a couple guys, that, and I think who's the Colts coach? The guy that was here when we went to the Super Bowl. What's his name?
So the coach?
Yeah, who's the coach for the Colts
right now?
Yeah,
I don't know his name right now.
Well, he's the guy who had the most success with Jalen running the RPO.
Okay.
Back to my point, I'm saying Nick Foles just pretty much retired. Again, there's a line of 5 to 7 quarterbacks that could have felt like a slap in the face before Phillip Rivers. That's my first point. Cam Newton, I love him dearly, and I think he just says things to stay in the airwaves, to stay viral, to be in the conversation. That's my second point. And to my third point, I got to give it to Phillip Rivers because he was coming up on eligibility to be a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer. Now with that one game, he pushes he now has to wait another 5 to 6 years. So he was going to be able to enjoy a Hall of Fame run sooner, and now he got to push everything back.
Yeah.
Another 5 to 6 years. And I'm like, man, I guess he really loves the game. It was in him. And I mean, I guess, it's in him. He's a great grandfather too. I wonder if that's a stat. The first great grandfather to play a game.
Huh. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say it for Denise Simpson. I'll say this: either he loves the game, or he was like, "Oh, that's how much you're gonna pay me? Okay, I'll come play.
I'll work out again."
That's true. One game,
I'll come play.
Put the ding dongs down. Put the ding dongs down and come back.
Put the ding dong.
What do you got, Denise?
So Shane Steichen, that's the head coach
Yes,
now. I don't
he
know if
was
saying
here
his
with the
name right.
Eagles. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then their record now is 8-6.
Okay.
Just to answer your question. For Cam Newton, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody, but one thing I was always taught, especially as a kid, is your image and how people see you. Because no matter how you carry yourself or how a great person you are, people see you, they look at you and they want to search about you and do things. And I think because he's been in the media for baby mama drama, 9 children, so many other things like that. And the NFL, if you ever look, like they don't want to be attached to a lot of different drama that's gonna hinder the image and the purpose of the NFL. So if they're gonna get rid of things like players are having issues outside of the NFL that is gonna distract them when they come into the NFL, then I think they kind of looked at Cam like, well, no, like I'll go find somebody else that's a 60-year-old in North Dakota and then recruit him first before I have to deal with drama around some other people. And if you look on his podcast sometimes, I mean, yes, we expect controversial things to be said all the time, no matter what. But sometimes he says controversial stuff. And once again, Roger Goodell could be watching this stuff and thinking, well, I'm not going to be attached to that. I'm not going to even think his way. I mean, maybe call Colin Kaepernick. I don't know. And that's all I have to say.
That topic came up too, but we're gonna leave that one alone right there. Leave that one alone. We're gonna let Colin live and leave him alone. Let that man live.
Or Carson Wentz.
But I just wanted to just bring that up because that happened this past weekend as far as him playing, and then so just to get our thoughts on that. Again, we don't wish any ill will against anyone, and again, we're not here bashing anybody. We're not here bashing Cam Newton for what he did. It's all a part of reporting on the news. But, and again, the fans' perspective. Like, we could all be wrong about why he said it and what he did. But the eye test tells us X, Y, Z. And so that's what we talk about and bring up. So, overall, I think Cam, he's going to be all right in the sector he's in. I don't think anyone's going to call him to come back and play for them. What I do think may happen is that in the future that he may be called back to come mentor somebody as far as learning not how to play the game or the quarterback position, but how to deal with like the media and deal with how things come up. Because I think overall, and Newton has said this, that when he first came to the league, before he started developing his own image, he was doing what he was told to do because the image had to be clean. You had to talk correctly, say things correctly in order for things to happen and to go your way. And I think he did that. And I think when things kind of went south for him after Carolina, I think that he kind of said, you know what, I think I just want to be me and be true to myself and kind of, not disrespect anybody or be a rebel, but I do want to be me. And can't knock him for that. At the same time, you may not agree with what he does or what he says or how he goes about doing things, but I think all in all, Cam Newton can definitely say he did it his way. Sure. He did it his way. Whether right or wrong, he did it his way. I think he would have no regrets if he said so because he decided to do it his way on his own terms, and how he wanted to do it. So anyway, that's our show for today. We talked about a lot. Again, we're on every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks on Monday or Tuesday. We've been on Monday so far. We haven't had a Tuesday yet. So 9 p.m. live here on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Todcast Sports. Tell your friends, tell your boys, tell your girls, tell your parents, tell everybody that there's a podcast out here that's talking sports from the fans' perspective. We got some knowledge. We're not insiders. We're not, journalists. We're not reporters, but we do have knowledge in our own respectful, sports and what we report on. And, we do have some great sources. Again, we are here talking from the fans' perspective. The eye test tells you what it is, right? Now, again, it may not tell you the truth of what it is, but it tells you a lot about what you see. And I'll be honest, a lot of what we talk about here, we're not too far off because the eye test kind of tells you a lot about what's going on. But we got a lot to say. We'll talk about some sports that you guys haven't talked about or known about. We'll bring some knowledge to you guys again. Some volleyball today. We talk some, some Jamaican sports. You never know what we're going to talk about. We'll come up with some things, and you guys can also feel free to reach out to us and let us know what you guys think about the show and some things of that nature. Now, again, there are some topics we are going to get into because we're not into not necessarily controversy, but we're not into, talking about and downing people and saying, well, you shouldn't have done that, or, I can't believe they did that. It's all news. And we try to talk about it from a positive perspective and from a perspective of, hey, this is what we saw. Is this what it is? We don't know. Time will tell. But we're not telling you the actual story. We're telling you what we know and what has been put out there, and just talking about it like we're in our living room, talking with our boys, with our girls, with our friends, right? Just that we're talking to you. And that's just what we do here at Todcast Sports. Anything y'all got to say before we go?
Go Birds.
Nothing else. Go Birds. Go Birds.
I can't say go Bengals because our time is up. That's all good.
Super Bowl season.
Hey, win the last 3 games. That's all I can say. Just do that. Just do that. Win the last 3 games. Call it a season. That's it. All right. That's our time here for Todcast Sports. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I think we'll be on. Let's see, this is what day? This is what, the 15th, 22nd. So we'll see you guys after Christmas. After Christmas, we'll see you. There was a lot going on then. We got NFL, we got NBA, we got college. Who else knows what's going on? We're going to talk about. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great night, great day, whatever time you're seeing this, and we will holler at y'all later. See ya.